Stadium in Edinburgh, the visitors this evening, the Oxford Cheetahs, and the man with me is the skipper of the team, and he's now classed really as one of the senior riders in the league. He is of course Martin Goodwin. Martin, good victory the other evening, last evening. How do you think it's going to go tonight?
Well, at the moment all the boys are on a high, you know, after last evening at Sheffield, you know, and everybody's riding good last night, you know, even, you know, all the way through the team from 1 to 7, and hopefully we'll carry on that performance to tonight.
You find yourself at number 4, which is an unusual position for you. How are you coping with that?
Well, I'm a bit mature now, so I can cope with it a bit better. As you say, I'm one of the senior members of the team, and but that was one of the conditions that I joined Oxford, so that Big Al was in the team, so it didn't make me feel so old.
Right, what about this evening's match then? Monarchs are without Vesa Ullinen, who's with the Finnish international squad, so rider replacement. Does that give you fellas more trouble with the Edinburgh riders?
It could do. You know, you never know. Vesa could have gone out this evening and scored a 15-point maximum, and you never know what rider replacement's going to sort of produce, you know, so it's one of those gambles you take, you know. One of the heat leaders might be off form, and it works in our favour, so, you know, it could work against Edinburgh tonight.
Yeah. Last time you were here last June, there were 18 points out here on the Powder Hall track. You obviously like the circuit up here.
Yeah, I like it. I always like coming up here. You always get a good welcome. They're nice people up here. Track's always, you know, reasonably prepared, you know. We've got fine weather, so what could be better than scoring a 15-point maximum?
Yeah, that's true. Now, people a lot of the sporters say you're a very hard rider, but do you feel that, you know, to ride Speedway properly and make it entertaining, you have to go in a bit hard?
You have to be hard to a certain extent without being dangerous. I mean, like, you know, there's 3 other guys out there on bikes, and they've all got a living to make, and there's nothing worse than someone knocking them off, whether it be me or someone else. But a lot of people get knocked off, but I'm sure it's not intentional. Yeah. You know, it's just through hard racing, and
well, it all happens in a split second, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, like, your mind is working tenser, doesn't it, there, and you have to think so quick for yourself, you know. And like Powder Hall is such a tricky little circuit to get round, and you have to think twice as quick, you know.
Do you think the bikes are actually too fast, or getting too fast?
They probably are, actually. Yeah, they seem. I've only been riding Speedway for 11 years, but they've certainly got a lot quicker since I've been riding.
Because looking at some of the very old times from way back in the 1940s, 50s, I mean, Wembley had about 76 seconds to get around. They were doing 43 miles an hour. You're doing an awful lot more than that now.
Yeah, without a doubt. That just goes to show, you know, that the engine tuners these days have got so much more technology to put into the engine. It just goes to show, you know, when you get a really good prepared track records are still being beaten.
Yeah. If you had one thing to change for next season, or something you would like to do with Speedway, what would you like to see happen?
Get rid of all of the two-faced promoters and stop all this bickering, and let's get on and do some real Speedway and enjoy ourselves.
So Division 3 could be the leader into that?
It could be. I'd like to see the tape touching rule abolished. Well, not abolished as such, but I'd like to see, you know, a handicap introduced, you know, which I think will produce more exciting racing.
They always said handicapping was dangerous when they did it in the middle 50s with Brigo and Moore and people like that.
Yeah, but that's them now. We've got different class of riders altogether.
You go faster now too.
You know, and I believe it would be more entertaining for the people who pay the entrance fees, and I'm sure they'd rather see their top rider 20 yards back instead of 300 yards back in the pits.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, as you say, entertainment's what it's all about. You've got 1 or 2 things still to do for tonight's match. We'll let you get on. Thanks very much for taking time out, Martin. Thank you. Well, there we are. That's the thoughts and views of Martin Goodwin on Speedway current, past and perhaps future. But the man who has all the present knowledge about the teams tonight is, of course, up in the box, and it's over to Mike Hunter.
Then of what we expect will be a keenly contested Division 2 match between the Gulfhall Monarchs and the Oxford Cheetahs. The new look Oxford Cheetahs, boosted by Nicholas Carlson's signing. He's made all the difference to them. They're in 8th place in the league, but they're on their way up. They won at Sheffield last night by a handsome score, and they come here to Powder Hall tonight with a very real chance of victory. In this opening race, Kenny McKenna rides from gate number 1. Gate 2, it's Mick Poole. Gate 3, rider replacement for Vesa Ullinen, who's away on World Team Cup duty in Italy. It's Lawrence Hare. And in gate 4, David Smart, a bit of a Powder Hall specialist, David is. And Kenny McKenna makes the start. Mick Poole challenging around the outside. McKenna drives wide and covers him in mud. And Lawrence Hare, I think, has got through into second there down the back straight. Mick Poole just in third ahead of David Smart. So a very good start by the Monarchs here. Kenny McKenna, a powerful first turn. Dave McPoole, quite a covering of mud. Lawrence Hare smartly through into second. Never all that quick from the traps, but a very good fighter from the back. Mick Poole starting to come to grips with the circuit and trying to make up ground on Lawrence Hare, with Kenny McKenna leading by a long way going into the final lap. Lawrence Hare keeping a fairly tight line. Mick Poole swings away wide. Track looking quite deep, which should certainly favour Edinburgh, and they take the 5-1 in the opening race. So a very good start by Kenny McKenna and Lawrence Hare there, and Edinburgh off to a 5-1 start. Kenny McKenna looks on song. The reserves race, and the colourful looking fellow on the inside is Rennie Madsen, the Dane. Next to him, fellow Dane Jan Anderson for Edinburgh. Gate 3, Stephen Morris back in the Oxford side on loan from Wolverhampton, and Peter Scully rides from gate number 4. And it's the Cheetahs who've got away best. Madsen and Morris to the first corner. Madsen wildly across the corner though, and Jan Anderson very neatly nips through on the inside, saw his chance and wriggled his way through to the front. And really a very potent reserve indeed is Jan Anderson. So Rennie Madsen will know to take things a bit more cautiously, and he's done a much better turn there. If he'd done that the first time, Jan Anderson wouldn't have got through. Peter Scully's chasing Stephen Morris at the back, and Rennie Madsen's in problems, so Scully seems to be in with a chance of something here, trying to get outside Stephen Morris. Dropping back there though. Into the final lap, still a possibility of a point for Scully at the back, and Madsen not so very far away from Jan Anderson at the front. Another cool ride by the Monarchs number 6. It's a shared race with Peter Scully disappointingly at the back again, and he is having a struggle at the moment. But Jan Anderson holding the fort, and the Gulfville Monarchs lead by 8 points to 4. This is Oxford's powerhouse pairing. We've got Lawrence Hare going from gate 1 for Edinburgh. Nicholas Carlson, the sensational Swede, rides from gate 2 for the Cheetahs. Gate 3 it's Scott Lamb, and gate 4 Martin Goodwin, who in the last couple of years has probably been the best visitor to Powder Hall. Scott Lamb just ahead from the start. Nicholas Carlson driving fiercely under him, and Carlson leads down the back straight with Lamb and Hare in second and third. We know what Martin Goodwin can do here. Oh my goodness, Carlson's fallen, and Martin Goodwin ploughs into him. Spun right round there, Carlson, and the two Edinburgh men got past the fallen rider, but Martin Goodwin had no chance to miss him, and Carlson unfortunately will have to be excluded. We hope he's okay for the rest of the meeting. We'll have a rerun in a moment. Gate number 3, Nicholas Carlson appeared to walk off okay, a little bit shaken perhaps. Martin Goodwin has, we're told, switched to Mick Poole's machine. He's ready to go from gate number 4 with Lawrence Hare and Scott Lamb once again in line for Edinburgh. Teams seem to go up very quickly there. Scott Lamb just ahead of Martin Goodwin to the first turn. Goodwin doing a blast round the outside, but it's Lamb and Hare who lead down the back straight. And Lawrence Hare already with one paid win in the bag. Martin Goodwin was at the back in the first running of the race, so maybe we're not going to see the old style Martin Goodwin round Powder Hall. 2 laps gone, and Scott Lamb looking smooth out in front. He did appear to be on his way past Nicholas Carlson when the Swede fell. Martin Goodwin's getting a bit of pace up now and putting in a challenge on Lawrence Hare. So Lawrence better be aware of his presence as they go into the final lap. Goodwin just winding himself up on Mick Poole's machine. Scott Lamb perhaps not going quite quick enough for Hare's liking. Well, I think Hare's just got enough pace to get to the finish. He has indeed, with Martin Goodwin gradually getting going. Another 4 laps and he might have got there. But as it stands, Edinburgh take a 5-1 from a race that did appear to be a tough one for them. And they go 13-5 ahead with Lawrence Hare. Yes, and 2 paid wins already, excuse me. Heat number 4, as we hear the depressing news that Nicholas Carlson may have a broken shoulder. That's a tragedy for the youngster and for the Oxford Cheetahs. But life goes on, and we're on to Heat 4, and Peter Scully rides from gate number 1. Stephen Morris is in gate 2, Les Collins in gate 3, and Alan Graham in gate 4. Very experienced pair on the outside 2 gates, and Les Collins in the position he's not quite so keen on, with a couple of reserves inside him. So let's see what happens here. Les Collins has totally missed the start. Stephen Morris leads the way. Alan Graham actually got an even worse start than Les, who is behind the 2 reserves. Now he's chasing after Stephen Morris. Alan Graham having machine problems. Les Collins not getting past Peter Scully, who takes a ridiculous line and squashes Collins up against the fence. Now Les coming on the inside, and he may get past Peter Scully here. Les is far too tentative when he's got reserves in front of him. And that really was quite an embarrassing couple of laps by the Monarch skipper there. Now he's into second and chasing after Morris, making up ground hand over fist. He's going to come inside Morris here, I think. There he goes. Well, it's all so easy, isn't it? But what on earth was he doing way behind in the first place? Morris trying to fight back, but Collins is clear now. Poor old Alan Graham struggling along a long way back, and the Cheetahs having no luck whatsoever on their first visit to Powder Hall this season. And a 4-2 to Edinburgh there makes it 17-7, and Les Collins takes a win which should have been easier than it was.
Thought you were going to beat Les Collins there?
Yeah, so did I, but no, I knew it was too good to be true. And
Sorry.
I knew it was too good to be true, and I heard him buzzing up the inside of me, so I left him.
Just let him overtake you.
Well, no, I was trying to win the race, but Les Collins, there's no more ground here, is he?
No, it's quite good round here, I reckon. So who have you got next? That was a good gate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you made the gate and everything, brilliant. So when are you at next? Here we are. Vessa, we don't know who you're going to put in instead of Vessa, so he's not here.
All right, yeah.
So you might have a chance on that one.
Yeah.
Unless they put Les back out. That'd be rotten than me. Long way up here to come?
Yeah. From Wolverhampton.
That's not too far.
No.
At least the weather stayed nice here.
Yeah, it's beautiful coming up here.
How's the track? Are you enjoying that track?
It's good. I like it. Like last time I came up here was with Wolverhampton in a challenge match, and I think I had three rides and fell off 3 times. I didn't have a very good meeting that night, but tonight everything seems to be going right for me.
So were you remembering them 3 falls on your way up here, were you?
Sorry?
Were you thinking about them 3 falls on your way up?
No.
Just forget that.
Just came up here with the attitude that just score some points, and so far everything's working for me.
Thanks for talking to us. Cheers. Good luck in this race.
Cheers.
Thank you.
But I'm not 100% certain. I can't feel any step in it. I can't feel any movement. He's got a lot of pain, so I think he must have done something. So he's getting a shower just now. I'll put him in a sling. We've got it organised for him to go up and get it x-rayed.
Up to the infirmary?
Up to the infirmary, yeah. Get it x-rayed. But we'll find out after the x-rays are there.
So that's the most common injury, isn't it? Broken collarbone.
Oh yeah, it's very common injury, especially in Speedway.
You think that is the most common injury?
That and scaphoids probably, yes.
That's a little bone at the base of the spine.
No, scaphoids, little bone in your wrist.
I've had this before.
Yeah.
What's a little bone at the base of the spine?
Well, there's no little ones. They're all the same. They're the same size.
Is that not a scaphoid?
No. Sacrum are you thinking of?
Oh, I've had this.
Sacrum, that's the thing you sit on.
Aye. The scaphoid's on the wrist.
Scaphoid's just in there.
I've had this before. So is that the rest of the meeting then?
Oh, he's out the rest of the meeting, yeah. It's too painful for him to ride. So, he's out.
Thanks for talking to us,
Okay.
Carlo. Thank you.
Number 5, David Smart's on gate 1 here. Scott Lamb rides from gate 2. It's Mick Poole, the cheetah's number 1, going from gate 3, and Lawrence Hare with paid 6 from 2 already, rides from gate number 4. Made a good start, but Scott Lamb emerges from between the two cheetahs. Oh my goodness, Mick Poole in terrible bother around the first turn there. And that leaves David Smart to fight it out with Lawrence Hare. Not sure if Mick Poole can get himself off. I think he's just going to make it. Well done, Mick. So we don't have to have another rerun. David Smart still ahead of Lawrence Hare, and Lawrence trying to battle through from the back. We've had lots of good racing from David Smart over the years at Powder Hall. And Lawrence Hare, of course, this year's Entertainment King, but he hasn't caught Mr. Smart yet. He's right there with him though. Ooh, Smart right up in the air there. Spectacular stuff, and Lawrence going for a blast round the outside. There's a gap up the inside now, but he's not really quick enough to take advantage, and into the final lap, David Smart still hanging on to that second place. Lawrence not getting quite the drive he normally does, and he's going to fall off here. He's done a few of those on the last corners, so he'll have to settle for just a single point this time, and that was a bit of an erratic ride by Lawrence, really. If he can get himself going, I think he's got to lift the back wheel off the ground, so it's going to be a tiring push for Lawrence, but there's a point in it for him. Always worth giving it a shove and a kick, as you can see. Okay, 4-2 to Edinburgh, and they lead by 21 points to 9. Jan Anderson rides from gate 1. He's the rider replacement for Vesa Ullinen. Gate 2, it's Alan Graham, who's been spending some time in his machine and looks as though he still isn't totally happy with it. Alan can, of course, be a very quick gaiter. Gate 3, Kenny McKenna, and in gate 4, it's Rennie Madsen. Alan Graham being invited right up to the tapes, pulling back a wee bit. You can see that happening from over here. The starting master, Jim Syme, just won't stand for it. Jan Anderson's got the quickest start. Alan Graham still doesn't look happy with his bike, and it's McKenna and Anderson who've gone to the front. And Graham still making spluttering noises. Believe it or not, Alan scored 15 points at Sheffield last night in Oxford's big victory, so his bike must have been going okay then. And McKenna with his tear-offs trailing behind, and Anderson setting off in front. Rennie Madsen not so far away. Anderson looking out for his partner as always. A very good team man, Jan Anderson. Kenny McKenna's got possibly some problems as well, I think. Just trying to pick up where the spluttering noises are coming from. Kenny cuts back to the inside. He's still got a lap to do, and he doesn't look too comfortable, with Madsen right up behind him. And Madsen's gone past McKenna, takes the second place, and I'm sure Kenny was having some machine problems there. Finally cost him dear, and doesn't look too happy about anything. So it's a 4-2 to Edinburgh, and they lead by 25 points to 11.
Nice overtaking the last bend there.
Yeah, it's a quite good track tonight. It's a little bit grippy, and there are lots of lines in it today, so there are lots of good race.
Well, we lots of lines in it every week.
Yeah, I don't know. I've only been here twice before, so for me it's looked pretty good today.
Did you think you was going to overtake him there?
You know, I could just hope I went long out into the corner, and I'll turn behind him and see if I can get him over the line, and I did that, so it's great for me.
It's pleasant to watch. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good luck for this meeting.
Thank you.
Meeting for 26 years.
That's great.
And so what made you come back?
Just decided to give a change. Yeah.
So what were you doing on the Friday nights before this?
Pubbing.
What pub?
I'll go to the pub.
Which one?
The Tricky Vicky often, didn't
The Tricky Vicky?
he? Aye.
Well, let's go there now.
Yeah.
You enjoying it?
I'm teetotal.
You enjoying this?
Yeah.
So you must have been in the Old Meadow Bank days then? That must have been your last meeting?
Yeah.
Can you remember your last meeting at Old Meadow Bank?
No. Too long to remember. But it must have been about 26 years ago.
You enjoying this though?
Yeah. Still enjoying it.
You getting the noise and the smell back?
Yeah.
And the garbled messages from the loudspeaker? You're going to come back, aren't you?
Yes.
With a Monarch's scarf and Monarch's hat and Monarch's badges?
Maybe. See what happens.
Who do you think our best rider is?
Nice Colin.
That was our best rider 26 years ago as well.
No.
Thank you.
Job the Hunter. I thought Job the Hunter. Did you get them home?
Ah.
Good.
Well, nice seeing you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mark comes in here. He's a tactical substitute replacing the unfortunately injured Nicholas Carlson. Les Collins rides from gate 2. Martin Goodwin's on gate 3. Not quite sure if he's on still Mick Poole's bike. I think it might be. And gate 4 it's Jan Anderson with 2 good victories behind him so far. The Edinburgh reserve, who is more than useful in that berth. This could be quite a tight race, I think. Goodwin's ready now, and Edinburgh leading 25-11, which is a bit of a healthier situation than they would have expected probably at this point. David Smart makes the start. Jan Anderson comes round the outside. Goodwin drives right across him there. That's the old style of Martin Goodwin, and so the Cheetahs lead the way. Smart and Goodwin out in front. Les Collins as abysmal as ever from the start. Now trying to cut through inside David Smart. There's a gap there, I think, and Collins goes through. Chasing after Goodwin. Goodwin locks up there, and that gives David Smart a chance to come back alongside Les Collins again. Once again, Goodwin holding it tight and locking up a bit. Les Collins trying to work himself into a challenging position, but he's got problems with David Smart outside him. Just moved David over a little bit there. Interesting battle. Jan Anderson's nipping away at David Smart as well. Collins has got almost onto Martin Goodwin's heels, trying to go round the outside of the former Rye House man, and he's done it. Les Collins wins it, and Jan Anderson takes the third. Well, what a finish that was. Tremendous ride by Les Collins on the last bend there. Switched to the outside and flew round the former Rye House man. Magnificent stuff. And Jan Anderson, well, everybody's watching Les Collins. Jan Anderson nipped through into third place. Well, that was a great race. 4-2 to the home side, and they lead by 29 points to 13. The inside gate this time. Peter Scully rides from gate 2. David Smart is in gate 3, and Scott Lamb takes the rider replacement ride for Vesa Ullinen, going from gate number 4. And Scott has 2 wins to his credit so far. And he's got away there very well from the outside gate. He's really gating well tonight, Scott. Stephen Morris and David Smart in second and third. Peter Scully trying to get into the action. He's just not quite there. He's not far off the pace, but he just seems to get to the back each time. And once again, he's got to chase on with Stephen Morris up ahead of him. Stephen not looking too comfortable there, so there's a chance for Scully. Young Peter just has to keep plugging away and hoping that the chance will come to get a point or two and gradually build his confidence back up again. Scott Lamb doesn't seem in any need of any confidence building. He's miles clear into his final lap while we watch the tussle at the rear. Peter Scully still just that 10 yards down on Stephen Morris, getting close. They come towards the final turn. Could have a big blast here, but not really getting himself set. So the Oxford pair hang on to second and third and share the race. And the score 32-16. Well, Peter Scully trying hard there, but things just not quite coming off for him. Scott Lamb, 3 wins, looking very good indeed. And Graham going from the inside gate, hoping to have sorted out his problems. I'm sure he will eventually. Gate 2, it's Lawrence Hare, who we hear has been suffering from food poisoning. Gate 3, Rennie Madsen, who's been quite impressive with a couple of seconds so far. And Gate 4 for the second race running. And unbeaten after 3 rides, it's Scott Lamb. And Scott easing away again there with Lawrence Hare going with him to the first corner. Lawrence trying to keep it in tight and give Scott a free run round the outside, which he has done. Scott leads the way. Lawrence swinging a bit wide there. Alan Graham's in third, plugging away on the inside, and he looks to be going a bit more freely now. Madsen giving him a hard run into that corner, and Madsen's gone through into third. Madsen's already passed Kenny McKenna. Lawrence Hare doesn't look all that quick. And I think his illness may be affecting him a little bit. It's not quite as speedy as usual. Trying to run round the outside of Madsen here. Madsen driving hard into the corner. Taking Lawrence out, and Lawrence is down yet again on that corner. It's becoming a bit of a habit. Struggling to get himself up. Madsen's chasing after Scott Lamb now. A very bold effort indeed by the Danish man. Hard inside Lamb there. Lamb hangs on to the finish, but a dramatic effort by Madsen to come from so far back. So a shared race in the end, with Lawrence Hare seeming to be suffering a wee bit. Edinburgh lead by 35 points to 19.
Scored the maximum at Sheffield last night.
Well, you wouldn't believe it, but yeah, it is. It flew last night, and the first 2 races tonight played up. And, you know, I haven't done anything to it from last night, so it should have been flying, but gremlins in the carburettor, we've changed the carbs, it seems okay.
I've seen you work, I think you changed everything.
Yeah, we changed. After the first race, we changed the box, the plug, checked a few things. And after the second race, we changed the carburettor. After the first race, I checked the main jet, you know, in the carb and stuff, but stopped carbs after my second ride. Second ride, and seems to have cured it now, but I'm struggling a bit tonight.
Maybe it's, you know, how big the Sheffield track is, maybe that done
yeah,
it.
you know, like Sheffield was a big races track was excellent, and I was gating, but this is a lot smaller track, and it's more difficult for sure, and I'm struggling a bit.
I think the bike's done it. I think that big track, that maximum is really good.
Having a rest.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
that's what it is.
I'm going to go and watch this.
Thank you. Down to see Lawrence here.
Well, I don't know really. I went in the corner a bit too hard really. He'd got underneath me in the top turn and he'd sort of pinned me out to the fence, like, you know. So I just done a big one round the boards, the top turn, and I was sort of committed to the outside sort of thing, you know. Come along here and just laid it in front of him, but I was going a bit too quick to turn really, just to keep ahead of him sort of thing. He had the line, you know. He'd moved me on the outside line, so went in and just, you know, it's just a bit too much. Just went down.
You okay though?
Yeah, just ran out of room really.
And back all right?
Yeah, chain come off. I don't know, a bit of bad luck. The front wheel came loose in the other race, so I fell off, and then but the chain came off because I fell off that race.
The front wheel was loose?
Yeah, in the other race I come in the bend and the front wheel just sort of slopped over the side, so and I just sort of not a lot of control really. It just sort of glided down.
So how did they? Is it just a general wear and tear?
The vibration sort of thing. You can check at the start of the meeting, but you know, if you just sort of, you know, everything vibrates on the bike, you know. So it's just sort of like, the only way you're gonna combat it is just check every nut and bolt sort of thing, which is not really possible.
But you're having a reasonable meeting though, eh? You got some points, haven't you?
Yeah, it started off with a couple of paid wins, and I haven't been on the bike for 2 weeks, so I was quite, it sort of pleased me a bit to just sort of hop on and get a paid win in heat 1, which I've never ridden in before. Lovely track in heat 1, it's great.
You like it? We'll put you back in heat 1, eh?
Oh.
Tell him, we'll tell. You like heat 1? I know guys who don't.
Great, nah. Nice track, nice and sort of smooth and consistent, you know, you got, just get out there and go for it, it's great. Lovely.
Tell Doc you want to be heat 1 all the time?
Yeah. I'll be number 1 all the time, really.
Yeah, number 1, right. we'll nick Kenny's jacket. Thanks for talking to us. Cheers.
Looks a very tough one indeed. Martin Goodwin rides from gate number 1 and he's starting to look better and better. Gate 2 it's Jan Anderson with 7 points so far. Gate 3 the very exciting Rennie Madsen, who seems to be rather a poor starter but gets himself going in no uncertain fashion. And in gate 4 Kenny McKenna with what appears to be a pretty tough-looking first bend ahead of him here, unless he can get a really quick start. So Edinburgh well ahead, but the Cheetahs gradually getting themselves going after their early problems. And I think Anderson's just made the start here, just ahead of Madsen, although Goodwin pressing hard, and that's a typical Martin Goodwin first bend, and there's Madsen coming through as well very forcefully. So the Cheetahs get to the front, and the Edinburgh riders sleeping there around the first turn, taken apart by two very forceful riders indeed. The Edinburgh riders dropping further and further back. Kenny McKinnon looking nothing like a number one at all. Jan Anderson taking up the chase, having made the start but then lost it badly. Madsen racing clear, a long way ahead, getting himself into a bit of bother, but he's got a lot of ground between him and the other riders. Final turn, and Cheetahs are going to take a well-deserved 5-1 here with a very hard-riding first corner making all the difference. And the Edinburgh riders dreadfully poor there, dreadfully poor. 5-1 to the Cheetahs, 36-24 the score, and this match could be interesting yet. And Les Collins goes from the inside gate here. David Smart's in gate 2. Jan Anderson gets yet another ride from gate 3. He's certainly having to work very hard. And Mick Poole rides from gate 4, and I'm sure Oxford would like to see Mick get going. Riders taking a long time to come into the tapes. Jerks his way away from the start. Mick Poole challenging around the outside, but Les Collins leads the way. Jan Anderson's behind the two Cheetahs. Slips possibly inside David Smart there. Good riding by Anderson. Saw the gap opening up, and now he sets out after Mick Poole. You'll have to watch David Smart though. David always a tenacious character. Poole looking quite good in second place now. The track not quite so grippy as it was early on. Smart certainly not giving up the chase on Jan Anderson, though. Nearly ran into the back of him there though. Likewise, Anderson's not giving up, looking for second place, with Mick Poole making the odd mistake. In the end, maybe positions are going to stay unchanged. Les Collins wins easily, and Edinburgh pick up a 4-2 to get themselves back on the rails. Move on to 40 points with Oxford on 26, but I think a big tack sub coming up, and Les Collins has stayed unbeaten after 3 races. Heat number 12, and Oxford ringing the changes, although not perhaps in the way we'd predicted. Scott Lamb rides from gate 1, and he's unbeaten with 3 victories. Gate 2, it's Stephen Morris replacing Rennie Madsen for some reason. I don't understand that one at all. Gate 3, it's Peter Scully, and in gate 4, Mick Poole is the tactical substitute. And I must admit, we thought that Martin Goodwin and Rennie Madsen would be appearing again in this race, but they haven't. Mick Poole's got a good start though from the outside, and he's just headed Scott Lamb into the first corner. Scott drives brilliantly inside him there, coming out the second turn to go to the front, and Peter Scully did almost the same thing on Stephen Morris. So it'll be a big boost for Peter if he can hang on to the third place here. He'll swing wide, as he always does, and Stephen Morris will have a chance to come inside. Morris lifts and Scully hangs on. Morris has got back inside Scully again there though. Peter leaving too big a gap, and he doesn't really like to ride the inside. Mick Poole pressing Scott Lamb up at the front. Interesting tussle. Scott's another one who likes to swing out and get a bit of dirt under his wheels. But that does leave a possible chance for the man inside him. Scott riding really well though. A crucial performance for Edinburgh here. hangs on for the 3 points. Peter Scully again misses out at the back. So a shared race, 43-29 the score. And Scott Lamb still on a maximum. Cheetahs, so it's Mick Poole riding from gate number 1, gradually finding his form. A couple of second places now. Kenny McKenna, he's had a disastrous night so far. He rides from gate 2. Alan Graham's in gate 3, and Les Collins rides from gate 4 with 3 victories to his credit so far. And with Martin Goodwin going in heat 14, it looks as though the Cheetahs are not going to get a tactical substitute ride for Martin, which seems very odd. Riders lining up all sorts of angles there at the tapes. And I think it's McKenna who's made it to the first corner, and Les Collins working his way around the outside if Kenny McKenna gives him room, which he has done. So McKenna leads into the third turn. Collins swinging around outside him, and these two often used to riding outside, out in front together. McKenna leaving plenty of room, almost running into the curb there, as he lets Les Collins come round the outside. Mick Poole's back in third, and I really can't understand why Martin Goodwin hasn't had an extra ride. He hasn't got a huge score, but he's looked in his last couple of rides very threatening indeed. Kenny McKenna bouncing around all over the place as he tries to team ride with his partner. Les Collins has pulled well clear now as he go into the final lap. Alan Graham a long way back, and surely Martin Goodwin should have replaced him. So Edinburgh have now sewn up the match points with a 5-1 there, and I feel that the Oxford management have not done a good job, although there may be reasons that we don't know about. But Edinburgh go into a 48-30 lead, and I think Oxford should have made a better fight of it there in the last 2 or 3 races. 14, Jan Anderson rides from the inside gate. Martin Goodwin takes a scheduled ride from gate number 2, and he's missed out on a tack sub ride. Gate 3, it's Lawrence Hare, who seems to be struggling, as we've said, and Rennie Madsen with 9 points so far rides from gate 4. And a smooth gate by Jan Anderson, but Martin Goodwin drives past him into the first corner. Martin looks really good. Jan's challenging down the back straight there, and Lawrence Hare comes into the action as well and sweeps round the outside. So Madsen's being asked to do it from the back again. He certainly seems to have the speed, but he's got both Edinburgh riders in front of him. Look at that dive by Madsen there, superbly through on the inside. And why have Oxford waited so long to use him? Brilliant riding. Too much for the Edinburgh men, and away they go again, Goodwin and Madsen. Well, they could have had more rides. It's incredible to think that. The match is over now, and they're away for a 5-1. And just look at Madsen go, he's extraordinary. How's he on a 4-point something average? Martin Goodwin, I think, wants him to stay back a bit. Well, I've known riders say the same about Martin in their time. But no problems here for the 2 Cheetahs. Super riding by these 2. They take the 5-1 and move their team on to 35 with Edinburgh on 49. And I think Scott Lamb and Les Collins will be facing these 2 in the last race as they both attempt to go for a maximum.
Well, punching the air, and why not? Everyone 2 might win the 5-1.
We've had a long delay while Oxford got their lineup sorted out. They tried to send out Mick Poole, but he's one of their top 2 scorers, so they've had to replace him, and that's with Rennie Madsen, who goes from gate 1 here. He's been a super performer so far. Kenny McKenna's got gate 2, and I'm sure you'd rather have Mick Poole inside him. David Smart rides from gate 3, and Jan Anderson rides from gate 4. Tapes up very quickly there, and it's Smart and Madsen away. Madsen goes across the corner, and that gives Kenny McKenna a chance to drive through right to the front. Very good effort by Kenny there. And Jan Anderson's fallen off at the back. He started with 2 wins, but he's gradually got into more and more bother and finishes up falling off. Now Kenny McKenna's got to try and hang on in front. He's never at any stage looked particularly comfortable, and Rennie Madsen is sure to give him a hard ride. Jan Anderson's got himself going again. He's only quarter of a lap ahead of the leading riders. Oh my goodness, Madsen almost spearing Kenny McKenna there. Got that bend totally wrong, so that I think should give Kenny a winning lead. with just one lap to go after this one. And in the final race, we're going to see two Edinburgh riders try to complete maximums, with the formidable presence of Martin Goodwin in the race. So that's a good win for McKenna, a very good first corner indeed. Rennie Madsen completes a dramatic performance, and the race is shared. The score with one heat to go, 52 to Edinburgh, 38 to Oxford. A lengthy and quite eventful meeting. We have two Edinburgh riders unbeaten here, but with formidable opposition from Martin Goodwin. Scott Lamb rides from gate 1. He's got 5 victories. Martin Goodwin in gate 2. Les Collins from gate 3 has 4 victories. And Mick Poole rides from gate 4. And Lamb and Goodwin have got to the first corner together, and it's Goodwin who leads. Can Lamb get through here? He's driven hard inside Goodwin. Gone to the front at the moment, but Goodwin will try and drive back here, round the outside. Here goes Goodwin. Lamb leads the way. Les Collins is in the hunt as well, coming inside. Goodwin swinging round the outside. Les Collins alongside Goodwin, and he's gone through as well. Tremendous riding by the two Edinburgh men. Goodwin's out wide, and the Edinburgh riders pull clear. Les Collins likes that inside line, and he rode really well there to get inside Martin Goodwin. Certainly thought the Edinburgh men would struggle to hold off the powerful challenge of Goodwin, but they're pulling away from him as they go into their final lap. Superb riding by both Edinburgh men. And Goodwin made the start, remember. Collins and Lamb. Just one bend to go. They've ridden brilliantly tonight, the pair of them. In close quarters round the last corner. Lamb 18, Les Collins paid 15. What a brilliant ride by the pair of them that was. Les Collins scoots past his partner, and the two of them are going to get the bumps here for terrific displays. Finishing it off in great style there, taking Martin Goodwin from the back, and Martin Goodwin congratulates both of them in a sporting manner. So Edinburgh finished with a terrific 5-1, 57-39 the score, and two great displays by Messrs Collins and Lamb. Marks on the victory parade once again on their tractor with a 57-39 win behind them in a match that I certainly thought would be a very tough one for them. Of course, it was made a little bit easier with Nicholas Carlson, unfortunately, we think, breaking his collarbone. But Edinburgh really did well, especially, of course, the two maximum men, Scott Lamb 18 and Les Collins paid 15. That's terrific stuff, and certainly not always from the gate either. The Edinburgh scorers, Kenny McKenna, 9 and a bonus from 5. Bit patchy for Kenny, but finished strongly. Scott Lamb, a brilliant 18-point maximum with some superb first bend work. Lawrence Hare tiring a bit, he got 5 and 2 from 5. Les Collins, 14 and a bonus from 5, coming from the back in superb style. Jan Anderson got 10 from 7 after a good start with 2 wins, and Peter Scully still struggling, just a point from 4 races. On the Oxford side, Mick Poole got 6 from 6. He's not really a powder hall man. David Smart got 5 and a bonus from 6. Nicholas Carlson 0 from 1. Martin Goodwin 9 and a bonus from 5, and really should have had an extra ride surely. Alan Graham 1 and a bonus from 4, never really got going at all with machine problems. Rennie Madsen, the entertainer on the Oxford side, with 13 and a bonus from 6, terrific stuff. And Stephen Morris 5 and 3 bonus from 4 rides, plugging away well there at number 7. So the Monarchs have completed a good victory. They're away on some away trips now to some away matches, hoping to pick up some points and move up the table, but they can rest happy with tonight's performance without Vesa Aylan, and they've scored 57 points, and particular congratulations once again to Scott Lamb and Les Collins. So that's it. Good night from Powder Hall.
Okay, as you can see, we've still got a few more of our additional races coming out. Paul Bowler, see out in red, don't sure that was...
Closer, I'm not saying we'd have won, but it'd been a closer meeting. And poor Alan, he rode last night and got us 15. And tonight his bike hadn't done anything wrong with it. It's that same bike and just wouldn't go tonight. So there we are, and that's how the cookie crumbles, I guess.
Do you know how Nick Carlson is?
He's done his collarbone, and he reckons about 3 weeks. He's off to Sweden tomorrow to get the laser, and he's hoping to be back quicker than that. So this is something we have to wait and see.
So where's it after this? Where's the next meeting?
Against Edinburgh on Sunday.
The return leg?
Yes.
Think you'll get the bonus? It's a long way to go, isn't it?
Not for us, not at Oxford. We can do it.
Yeah? Are you going to get a guess for?
No, we can't. You only guess for the top man, can you, in British League 2? No, we have your road replacement, but I think you'll find our lads are a lot better down there than what your lads will. I think we're in for the bonus point.
You think the meeting was fair enough? The track was fair?
Oh, the track was there, nothing wrong with the track. No, it's the way the cookie crumbles. You know, a bit of luck goes your way and didn't go our way, so that's how it runs. But I'm not giving it the bonus point. We can get that at auction on Sunday.
Good luck on Sunday.
Okay,
thank you very much. Pressure rider, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly made a difference because the rest of the team struggled. You know, I struggled as well, but it certainly made a difference because obviously we was trying to rely on other riders who weren't going that well, and you know, it does affect the team. Yeah.
Think you'll get the bonus on Sunday? your team manager says you can.
Well, obviously we can then. Yeah. I don't know. Like Edinburgh's going fairly well. We're without Carson now, so it's a little bit different again. So at home, so, but I'm sure we'll be trying hard.
Be rider replacement, as your team manager must say.
Yeah, I don't know. Yes, I suppose so.
So you get an extra ride then, Dan?
Yeah, that's okay if you're going well, but when you're struggling, like tonight, I didn't ride as good as I should do. The first ride I just felt it was a little bit too wet for myself. I didn't like it. I shortened the bike out to try and stop it from turning too easy. I just didn't really get into it. I just couldn't like really attack it how I have done in the past, and it just sort of made life hard work.
Just one of them nights?
Yeah, you know, like this season I've had early on in the season I had fairly good meetings, but you know, a few of the away ones I've been disappointed with. Like last season I was riding fairly well.
Yeah, you were,
all over the place, but this season some of my away meetings have let me down quite bad really, but that's how it goes. I've had sort of 10 years in Speedway, and you've got to have a year where something doesn't go right. I've been fairly happy with the seasons I've done, so you know, like I said, one season out of 10 you've got to have something where things don't really go so well.
Oh, well, that'll be it. That'll be the peak of the not going so well. You can pick up from
well, all being well, yeah, you know, that's this is my worst sort of point in my life, so hopefully like it can only get better again, surely.
I know Alan Graham got a maximum last night at Sheffield. How did you do?
I scored 8, paid 10, I think. I had a couple of good rides. Just one ride let me down where I ran a last, although I sort of clawed my way back into the race. I wasn't really in a position to pass anybody, but I did sort of like catch him up again. But that was the only race that I was sort of disappointed with.
It's your next meeting Sunday, isn't it?
Yes, against Edinburgh, so it'll be difficult, I think. But, you know, like, it's going to be tough for us because obviously with rider replacement, using rider replacements, get out in a minute, rider replacement is good when the rest of the team's going well. But if one of you's struggling a little bit, and then that does make the difference then, because that means the rider who's struggling got to have an extra ride, and it's sort of hard work.
All right, should be a good meeting. Oh.
I'm sure it will, yep, yeah.
Thanks very much for talking to us, thank you.
Thank you, cheers then.
Thank you. Where's it going? Scott? Scott? How's it working? Yeah. I've got to talk to you. That wasn't the bike you was on tonight.
Yeah.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What have you done to it?
Done a fair bit, like.
18 points, that's your best round here, isn't it?
Yeah, best round anywhere.
It's it anyway, isn't it? Yeah. I bet your heart was in your mouth in the last... Was that your most difficult race, last race?
Of tonight?
Uh-huh.
Or ever?
Well, ever then?
No, tonight, it was the hardest tonight, definitely, because I got a good start, but Martin Goodwin got an even better start, and I had to sort of bump him a little bit just to get past.
It was Martin Goodwin you were bumping there, you know that?
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah. I was saying, do you know who that is you're bumping?
Yeah, Martin Goodwin. So, well, I was desperate to get 18 points, so I had to bump him out the way a little bit, but it was good.
Just Fiona coming in, his bike's coming in. Was that, of course, you obviously know how well you were riding, but did you and Liz have a chat before we went out?
Yeah. Yeah, Les just says, go out and win it. And I says to him, you go out and win it. So we had a chat.
And did you know after you got past Goodwin, Les had got past as well?
No, I didn't know. I thought that was Goodwin nipping at my heels in the last lap and inside, so that's why I shut the door on Les, because I thought it was Goodwin, but like Les kind of thought I would think that. I wasn't looking back just in case I made a mistake.
I was going to ask Les that later on, did he think that you thought
Yeah, I didn't think it was Goodwin, and I kind of knocked it on the head going into the corner. But Les didn't bother, he was quite happy, he got the second place.
Well, he said got paid out. Yeah. It was brilliant, it was just pleasant watching. It was all from the gate, was it?
It wasn't.
No, it wasn't. We had
it was until that last one, yeah. I had to, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
but I've kept the bike fairly
clean. Oh, no, I was looking at it, amazing.
Save a bit of work tonight, anyway.
Usually covered in mud when I interview you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The cleanest Scott lamb I've ever seen at the end of a meeting.
Well, this is true.
And the happiest.
Yeah. Happiest.
Congratulations. Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Cheers, sir.
Cheers. No, he thought you were Martin Goodwin.
Yeah, he definitely thought I was one of the opposition, but I was actually there to remind him not to slow up on the last lap and just get going, Scott, and get that 18 in the bag.
Did you think he would cut you off thinking that he was Martin Goodwin?
No, he just did the right thing. I was just... he certainly didn't slow me down any. I just actually probably made Scott go a bit quicker to make sure he got it. But yeah, no, it was, everything happens so quick in Speedway. You don't really know what's really going on like. But I was aware that he wasn't quite sure that it was me. But even so, it's no problem. As long as he hadn't deliberately took me out and the other guy passed both of us, that would have been a shame.
I know, he got the bumps. I noticed you declined. Is this sort of sign of old age?
Well, that's it. It's a sign of old age, and I've had plenty of maximums before.
Yeah, you've been up there a few times.
I was hoping to get a maximum today, actually, but when it came down to the crunch, Scott's 18-point maximum went a bit more than my 15-point maximum. So
that's his first ever.
Yeah.
It's his best anywhere.
Well, was a bit worried on the first lap because we were both at the back as usual, weren't we? So we had it all to do. Scott got amongst them first and got to the front, and I got up there and joined him, which was fantastic. So well done, Scott.
Thanks very much, and thank you again, Les. Cheers. Thank you.
Here in the blistering hot sunshine on Wimbledon's men's finals day, we're at Cowley Stadium to see the Oxford